What's good, Commanders fans? So shout out to the Steelers. I thank you guys so much. Shout out to them for taking William Jackson off of our hands, man, saving us some money. So this was a bad signing by Ron Rivera, but he was able to clean up the mess by trading him to the Steelers. Barely. And the report, I just made a video saying that most likely he would be released because nobody would trade for that contract. And then the back injury. People keep talking about the back injury. Like I said before in my last video, I don't know how much of a believer I'm in that back injury. I feel like if William Jackson was on a different team, you've seen this happen before. Stephon Diggs, when he didn't want to play with the Vikings anymore, he was sick or had a bad whatever was going on, and he wanted to be traded. A lot of players do. This has happened in the past with guys who want to be traded. They have some type of injury and then they go to another team. Kadarius Toney with the Chiefs. Look at him. He said he's not injured or whatever, but he was missing games with the Giants. Now he's about to play with Pat Mahomes. And now he's about to run a 4.24 yard dash with Pat Mahomes on the field. So that's all I'm going to say about that in the back injury. I just never bought into that stock. So we'll see William Jackson when he plays with the Steelers. But thank goodness. So this is the trade. Tom Pelissero, he said, he tweeted, the Steelers and Commanders are expected to swap late future first round picks in the trade for cornerback William Jackson III per source. A low-risk addition for Pittsburgh, which is trying to shore up its defense while Washington moves on from a guy who did not fit. And I'll just say that to be nice. He didn't fit. He did, like I said, he got cooked in the Cowboys game. He got cooked a couple times last year, the Giants game. Pass interferences. He had a penalty in almost, I think, the first 4 or 5 games of the season last year. He had a penalty, whether it was a flag, or whether it was a personal foul, whether it was a holding, defensive holding penalty. He had a penalty in each game. Now, he did play better during the 4-game winning streak last year. I'll give him credit for that. He did have an interception against the Chargers in the first game of the season. I'm not gonna say he was trash like Pac-Man Jones says he was, but he was getting sizzled and cooked. He had a 49.8 PFF grade, 49.6 PFF grade, and a 48.9 coverage grade. Like I already said the stats before in my previous video. Look at his advanced numbers. He was giving up a 121.9 quarterback rating, gave up 2 touchdowns and a 70% completion rate, percentage allowed, 70.8% completion percentage allowed. Noah Brown cooked him in that game. CeeDee Lamb cooked him. Michael Gallup. Cooper Rush was just targeting him, and he wasn't playing well. Now, the defense has played better without him, but like I said, there's a caveat to that because, Aaron Rodgers and his receivers, they were just awful. Amari Rodgers was dropping passes. Lazard dropped a pass. We got very fortunate with guys dropping passes. Then we played the Bears with Justin Fields. Justin Fields didn't play good that game. A couple of their receivers weren't really good either, dropping passes. And then this past week, Wild Goose got lucky because Michael Pittman dropped a pass that could have converted and put them in field goal range or close to field goal range. So our corners are still not great, to be honest with you. Wild Goose, Kendall Fuller has been torched this whole season, and Ben St. Juste has been the best out of the 3, but Alec Pierce cooked them on one play. So we still need another corner, in my opinion, but they just had to move on. William Jackson, like I said, he didn't take the plane trip to Chicago. And then in the Titans game, he got benched. And Ron Rivera said, we made a decision to put him on the bench. And William Jackson was like, no, my back hurts. That's why I didn't play. So it was just a lot of stuff that just didn't add up and was very fishy. And I'm happy this has come to an end. But it's unfortunate. Free agent cornerback signings just have not worked for the Washington franchise. Josh Norman, add him to the list. So I'm happy that we have moved on. Another note or nugget here. This is from Mike Garofolo. He says Terrell Austin coached, who's with the Steelers right now. He coached William Jackson in 2018 with the Bengals. Surely believes he can help him turn things around with the Steelers. So there's a connection right there. So that's probably why the Steelers are taking a chance on William Jackson III, because he has that familiarity. And I could see William Jackson playing better somewhere else. I could certainly see that. It happens all the time with former, like I brought up Lorenzo Alexander, multiple people, Preston Smith, multiple people leave the Commanders or Washington franchise and they play better somewhere else. They just do. It usually happens that way. So we'll see how he plays out in Pittsburgh. I wish the best to him. And I'm just happy we moved on. Now, financially, this is from Nikki Javala. She says, per OTC, the Commanders would have $3 million in dead money in 2023, 2024, and 2025 from Jackson's prorated bonus, but would ultimately save $12.75 million next year. I'm happy. We should have a good amount of cap space because we will begin off of Carson Wentz's contract as well. So that's good news too. Jason OTC also says the Steelers trading for Jackson will get the Commanders off the hook for $2.77 million remaining in guaranteed salary for William Jackson III. So that's good news. They're getting his money off the books. That's good news. I think we should have some cap space. I got to look at that for next year, spot rack and whatnot. When we do move on, most likely from Carson Wentz to $28 million, how much cap space will we have next year? But this is good. It's a good and bad thing at the same time. It's just awful that we invested money. He was supposed to be an upgrade over Ronald Darby, and he wasn't even better or better than really Ronald Darby, what he did here, to be honest with you. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hail to the Commanders. Peace.